As a child, we all long for a hero. As a society as a whole, we search for that leader that can be our hero. But as we mature and as we grow, it dawned on us that the hero is inside every one of us. And in the world's social media, we all start at zero. And slowly we search deep within ourselves to find who we are. And we have that moment of truth where we embrace that the hero that we've been searching for has been there all along. It is living deep inside of every one of us. And we start embracing that journey and we become that hero that we search for.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 123 of Zero to Hero, presented by J29 Creative Group. Got another awesome guest coming at you guys today. His name is Loren Weeks. He is owner of Paragon Growth Advisors. So let's go ahead and bring him in. Loren, how are you this morning?
Good. How are you doing, Gino?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. So tell us, what is Paragon Growth Advisors? What do you guys do? What do you have coming up?
At Paragon, we work with small business owners, typically in the trades, the contracting trades, although we've worked with many others, and I've got a background in cybersecurity and IT management. But we help them basically double their profits without having to add additional marketing or advertising spend.
That's incredible. How are you guys doing that?
Well, it's through something called marginal utility theory, which actually has to do with the compounding effects of making small incremental changes in certain places inside of a company's business, whether it be raising prices a couple of percentage points or adding value one way or another, and then potentially concurrently running efficiencies in the company, whether that be process improvements or other things they can do to cut costs. So if you do those things at the same time, it has a compounding effect and a multiplier effect on profits.
Absolutely. Yeah. So really diving into kind of those smaller things that, when we put them all together, it adds up to huge multiplication of profits.
Correct. So we find that a lot of business owners run into, they do a lot of tactical things, and digital marketing is one piece of the whole thing, but there's a whole other piece of it that has to do with conversion, that they're not utilizing some of the things. They have gold inside their company, and we just find the hidden pieces inside of the company that they're overlooking, that they could take advantage of right now without having to, put any more money towards SEO or having something fancy. They actually have the gold in their list inside their business.
I love it. And obviously, if we can free up those resources, we can put those towards other things to make the business even more better on top of that. So that's awesome, man. So I know you've been doing Paragon for quite a while here. Setting that aside a little bit, tell us, who is Loren Weeks? Give us your elevator pitch about you.
Yeah. Well, Loren Weeks grew up in Shawnee, Kansas, in a middle-class family. My whole family, majority of them are blue collar or were blue collar. My father was a general contractor superintendent for Fogel Anderson here in town. And then my brother and my other brother were in the electrical contractors. And then it just goes downhill from there, or uphill, whichever way, Blue Hill. But that's where I came from. Went to high school in Kansas, and then got out of that and went into telecommunications, probably like half Kansas City did. And then when the company decided to lay off thousands of people is when my entrepreneurial journey started. So I actually took the package, and I lived in Florida for a little bit, but I started an IT company here in Kansas City, added on cybersecurity onto that. And that's my professional journey. As a kid, I played lots of sports. I was a very competitive child. And my mother told me that I always beat to a different drummer. And I didn't quite understand what she meant until I worked in the corporate world, and I didn't really fit there very well. So I kind of found myself sort of a fish out of water there, and I didn't really know how to play the political game very well. So
I definitely get that. I've got one of those in my house that beats to a different drum, so I definitely understand that 100%. Now, Lauren, tell us, obviously when you started Paragon and you started all the social media pages, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, there was 0 followers, 0 likes, 0 posts, no content created. So tell us a little bit about what that journey has been like, once you decided to make that leap and get those pages going to where you're at now.
So, it has been, for me, it's been a little bit haphazard. I'm kind of on the gray end of the spectrum here. And so, trying to learn new social media things. And I've always been out on LinkedIn and had a presence out on LinkedIn. But it's more just being consistent about what I post. And then since I have a passion, then that helps me create posts that have a little bit more meaning to it. So, starting the Facebook pages and starting the LinkedIn pages were just more of an extension of me in my profession, and then me actually not just my bio, but me kind of trying to make a difference. And it's pretty LinkedIn is pretty noisy, but somehow I started a KC Business Social Networking, and that kind of helped kind of bring people in, and the idea is to bring business owners together. And, you have a number of competing people that are in the same room talking, and it becomes more of a camaraderie and sharing knowledge than it is like, I compete against you or you compete against me. And in this particular, advertising or marketing or whatever it might be.
Yeah, no, I 100%. I think Kansas City's a little bit unique in that, right? Where it's like there's so many competing entities. We see it as well in the marketing space, right? I mean, there's 1.5 million agencies in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
But the willingness to work together, right? I mean, obviously, I think kind of the entrepreneur network within the city realizes that it's a pretty big pie, and there's pieces of it for everybody, right? So let's kind of help each other out and kind of, grow together, right? Which I think has been a common theme in the city for the last 4 or 5 years. It seems like, if not more, is let's all rise, right? And really make Kansas City what we know it can be. So absolutely, man, that's incredible. And that's awesome that you were able to start that community on LinkedIn. And it's I love the tips that you're putting out there as well, right? Just like you said, obviously you've got a passion for it, right? So all those little free bits of information are absolutely huge, and I'm sure helping out with the success there as well. So keep it going, man. I love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
It is sometimes, right? Every once in a while, it's not so fun, but usually pretty good. Now, Lauren, every superhero has a defining moment. What do you think yours is, not only when it comes to your career, but your life as well?
I don't know if there's like one defining moment. So my grandfather on my mother's side was, he was just somebody who made a huge impact on me about just how to live your life. I mean, as a senior, he was in the senior Olympics and things like that. So he was a swimmer, and he was always competitive, and he loved nature, and he just was a gentle soul. And then you contrast that with my upbringing. My father had some trouble with booze, and my upbringing was pretty rough at times. And so I had to figure out kind of how to survive. And so through that, I always had this mantra, it's like, how dare you treat me that way? And so as somebody that is the little guy that I felt like I was trying to break free all the time, it kind of translated into this entrepreneurial spirit that I seem to have, which is a huge individualism that I have, which is why I didn't fit very well in the corporate world. But it's like, that's what I try to bring to, the business owners and the world of the entrepreneur, is like how I can help them break free and scale and become successful. And I feel like that was probably something, it wasn't like one moment, but it was like kind of a culmination of the things that happened in my life, and then some of the positive influences I had to kind of help me see how I could channel some of that energy and some of my history into a really positive direction, and something that I'm passionate about and I have a lot of energy for. Because, I ask myself a lot of times, what were you put here to do? And it's taken me quite a while to actually figure it all out, but I think I'm here. I'm built to do what I'm doing now. And I really wished it would have happened earlier, but it didn't. So it just
Well,
is what it is.
everything happens when it's supposed to, man. And I tell you, at least you got it figured out. I think there's quite a few people that are still walking around and still trying to find that, right? Younger, older. I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world for people to figure out. I think so.
No, it's not. I felt like I was in the corporate world. I felt like I was a jack of all trades and master of none. I really felt like there wasn't really any value that I could bring. But as I look back and I say, oh, that piece and that piece and that piece, I can kind of look back on my life now and how many times I moved around inside the same company every 1 to 2 years because I just, was restless. But all those things helped me learn all the things that I have now. And so I have a lot of experience that now I can share. And that's the fun part for me is finding the problems, helping them solve them, and then being able to use the repertoire that I've built in my library to help with those experiences or help create experiences for my clients or for my friends or whoever I'm helping or working with.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that slow sculpting, man. I love that. Just taking a little piece off here until here we are now, right? That's awesome. Now, villains have attributes, heroes have attributes. What do you think are really the attributes that really kind of define more of that hero side?
Probably one of the bigger ones is an out of the box type of. So a lot of people sometimes they don't know exactly where I'm coming from, but I have this unique ability to go out of the box and solve problems that are very unique, even experimenting a little bit. But I might be talking Greek to somebody, but I have the ability to bring it down and then simplify. So, and the thing is I have to be doing something. I'm not motivated unless it's for the greater good or there's some purpose for it. And so, so my superpower actually is the ability to go out of the box to find and simplify complex problems, explore and try to find something that's not apparent to everyone, but actually to come bring something in that was like, oh, wow, we didn't think about it that way. And so that's, I don't know if there's any, Superman or whatever it is, those characters out there that, is similar to that, but that's what my superpower is.
Yeah, kind of seeing things from that bird's eye view and being able to figure out the problem and then communicate that. Absolutely, man. All right, so here's the last one, Loren. Here's the hardest one. If you had to compare yourself to any superhero out there, who best relates to Loren Weeks? And tell us a couple reasons why.
Batman.
Okay.
So,
why Batman?
Batman is they shine the light in the sky with the Batman up there.
Yeah.
And Batman watches over the city. I like to feel like I have the ability to watch over my clients, my friends, and my family and help them avoid trouble or help them solve trouble. So I think if I had to pick one, Batman would be it. And Batman was actually my favorite one when I was a kid too. I used to watch that really cheesy 1960s version of Batman and Robin. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. No, somebody can throw the signal up there and then Loren's coming, man. I love it. Especially for the small businesses out there, right? Like if you, the small service-based businesses specifically, but it sounds like kind of outside of that as well. If you want to maximize those profits without putting in a bunch of money, definitely throw that Loren signal up in the sky. Let them come out and take a look at what you guys got going on. Loren, man, I appreciate you coming on. How can people get in touch with you? How can they follow you? Where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. At LinkedIn, yeah, there it is on the screen. Loren Weeks. You can email me at lweeks@paragongrowthadvisors.com. I know that's kind of long. I have a Facebook page. It's my personal page. We also have a Facebook that's under my business partner. She created the page. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, Paragon's under Kristen Tatum Lawson. Paragon Growth Advisors there. So, and they can call me. If you
search Paragon Growth Advisors, you will find that page. That URL is a little funky, but that is the Facebook page there. And then obviously they've got a website if you want to check out the information there as well. Loren, thank you so much, man. You're absolutely awesome. Keep putting out those fires for the businesses and multiplying those profits, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Hey, are we still live? Hey guys, we're still live. Hey guys, this is Kevin Kwok, founder of J29 Creative Group. So who are we? We're a marketing agency here in Kansas City. We're all about a holistic approach to marketing that builds your brand and nurtures online community. But to be honest with you, you guys don't care.